What happens when you bring a knife maker to a gunfight? Jason Grant, artist, knife maker, optics master. Welcome to Season 2 of Can We Chat? Brass Brigade blades, carefully designed, quality materials, handcrafted. For first response, everyday use, and personal protection. When equipment matters, choose quality. Brass Brigade blades. What is going on? My name is Paul G., Chief Safety Officer for the IDPA. This channel will help you clarify IDPA rules, shooting techniques, and keep you informed of the newest gear and what's going on in the shooting community. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Joining us today is optics master, correct?
That's
wow.
right. Yes.
Optics master, artist, and knife maker, Jason Grant. Good morning to you, Jason.
Good morning,
Thank you
Mr.
very
Paul.
much for coming all out here.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Doing good, yeah. Here we are.
So we have a lot to talk about. I mean, you have a lot of paraphernalia here. This
Yes,
is amazing stuff. You married?
I am married, yes. My wife's name is Amanda.
Amanda.
Yes.
And she's Japanese. I heard.
She is Japanese, half and half white.
Oh,
So she's
Hapa.
Hapa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
2 weeks ago? On
Wow.
the 13th of last month.
Did you go anywhere special? Dinner?
We actually went to the Sequoias.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was cool.
You like the outdoors?
I do, yeah. Yeah, I do. I didn't do much of it growing up because I grew up in Long Beach. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what we do.
So you're a tattoo artist by trade?
Yeah, I've been tattooing since 1991.
What got you into tattooing?
Truthfully, okay, so I was kind of a knucklehead growing up. Didn't do very well in school, and my mom had cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And no, it's all right. And so she was on a time limit. So I'm 17 and I'm trying to figure it out, right? Because my stepdad, we didn't get along too good.
Yeah.
So I was like, I went to get a tattoo and I had like the fake ID. My ex-girlfriend at the time took me to this tattoo shop where she had gotten a tattoo.
What shop was that?
It was called Burt Grimm's in Long Beach, California. And so, long story short, I went in to get a tattoo with a fake ID, which I had forgotten, but they let me slide. And I literally walked in wanting a tattoo, and I walked out wanting to become a tattoo artist.
You're kidding me.
Yep.
You were that influenced.
3 months later, I would later work and become the shop apprentice / helper there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's the oldest tattoo shop in the United States. It's the most famous tattoo shop in the world.
So when you get tattooed, right? What should somebody look for? Cleanliness for one, right?
Cleanliness, absolutely, yeah. I mean, and most shops, especially in California, everything's regulated by the health department.
Of course.
Everyone uses disposable, tubes, needles.
Right.
I mean, you're pretty safe. You know, if you're going to a, somewhat well-respected shop, you'll be all right.
So they say that tattooing ink is permanent, right? But
Very permanent.
But is it?
Well, they have lasers now that can remove tattoos, but it's very expensive.
Okay.
Like takes tons of sittings, tons of hours, and tons of money.
Right.
Yeah.
But I noticed that your a fresh tattoo is very defined.
Yeah.
And then it kind of fades after.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course. Over time, they'll break down and you might need a touch up. Or usually black and gray tattoos sort of, the black always sort of blurs a little bit and color fades. So, I mean, if you have a lot of colored tattoos, you can just get it touched up every decade or so,
So when I was younger, it was just black, right? Black, white.
No, they've had color since the 20s, actually before that.
Really?
Yeah.
Just nobody got color or?
Actually, all the sailors did get color, but the pigments and the inks they used back then weren't what they are today.
Okay.
So, by the 50s, the color had long, vanished, and they were just left with the black.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, technology has just brought tattooing to just like a level I never thought it would have got to when I first started, 34 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, you've seen the portraits they do now, and they look like pictures.
They're insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the ink, everything is better now, right? Because of technology and,
So when you're choosing your first tattoo, what do you recommend they choose?
I always say just get something you like. It doesn't have to mean anything. You absolutely need to like what you're putting on you.
Oh, because you're going to see it,
Right.
or not, right? They put a
Or they'll hide them, yeah. And if you're getting a tattoo and you're especially with younger people, like I try to tell them no neck, no hands, no face,
right.
because they are, permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually the first thing that I noticed about you. I went, oh wow, look at the color.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've had sleeves since I was 18 and
Right.
I'm 50.
Right.
So, yeah, I've been tattooed for a while.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. So when you do tattoos, it's like a cult following, right?
I mean, kind of. I mean, it kind of is
Right.
when you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
but then I feel like everyone gets tattooed now too, though. So it's a
Nowadays,
giant cult,
yes.
right? I mean, NBA players,
Your
movie
community
stars.
just grew. Yeah, it sure did. Absolutely. So when you're doing the neck thing, what the meaning, what drives you to start doing like stuff that you can actually see?
So the way I get tattooed is I usually like my friend Aaron Cox did my throat, just a rose, and I just went to my friend who I like his work, and I said, and I had a little spot right here because everything else was done, and I was like, just do a rose, do one of your roses, and that was it.
All the way around.
Yeah, like most of my tattoos are from people like I like or I've worked with, and most of them I let the artist have free reign. I give them an idea what I want, like a vague idea,
right.
and then I let them do their thing. Because if I wanted to tattoo myself, I would, or I would give them the design, right?
Yeah.
And I'm weird. It's like artists don't like their own work. I wouldn't want tattoos done by me all over me. Weird, right? Yeah, I know. Like I have a couple tattoos where I drew them and then gave the design to a friend.
Yeah.
But I like getting tattooed by other artists. I like having a variety of work.
That's wow.
It's cool. It's like collecting anything, like collecting knives or guns. Or,
Right.
My tattoo.
And that's a gift from another artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like getting tattooed also by guys I've worked with.
Yeah.
Right. Little memories. Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the talking about pain, discomfort when you're actually doing it, you actually the pain reaches a euphoric stage, right?
I wouldn't say that. I don't like getting tattooed at all. When I was younger, I was half drunk most of the time anyways.
Right.
But
which is not a good thing when you're getting tattooed.
But I'm just saying, like when I was younger,
Yeah.
I'm kind of joking, but they definitely did not hurt as much as they do now. Like they hurt now. I got the inside of my left thigh done last summer.
Yeah.
A couple tragedy masks, like the smile now, cry later faces.
Sure.
And oh my God, I almost tapped out. It was so bad. It was so bad.
And it never got to a point where you're like, oh yeah, I can deal with it.
Oh no, no, the entire thing sucked. Yeah, it was bad. And I mean, I got a lot of tattoos. And like, I swear, the more you get, the more they hurt. I know that sounds weird, but if you ask anyone with a lot of tattoos,
right,
especially if they're a little older, they'll probably tell you that the more they get, the more they hurt. Where new tattoo people think, oh, it probably doesn't hurt him. He has a lot. It's the total opposite.
Right. And it has nothing to do with where you put it, or fat,
that
like
does.
bone.
So like the outside of your arm
Yeah.
is going to hurt way less than like the inside of your thigh, right? Yeah. We're always bumping our arms on stuff, right?
Right.
I mean, anywhere where it hurts more to pinch, it's going to hurt more to tattoo. Ribs, think ribs. You're skinny like me, like ribs suck. Stomach. I got my wife's name below my belly button, Amanda Faye. Oh, that one sucked too. And I got that one like
you could have
10
picked a
years
girl
ago.
with a shorter name.
I know. I should have just got her initials. I should have just got like, the initials. That probably would have been better.
So tell me about the one on your.
That's Mariko. That's my wife's middle name. This one.
You couldn't put it on your.
Well, there's no more room, right? No, it's. I wanted something above my eye,
right?
And just sent it.
I know. Post Malone made it famous, right? People actually started doing face.
Well, yeah, and I mean, he made it more of like I think a lot more people started getting face tattoos, especially the younger guys. Once he sort of made it, because he had face tattoos.
Yeah.
But I've had mine for a long time. Well, 10 years for this one.
Yeah.
And then I have this little one over here I've had for probably 20 years.
Wouldn't that be like a social taboo to put something on your face back in the day?
Yeah, it is. And to be fair, like I didn't have my face tattooed remember, I've been tattooing 34 years. So I had already been tattooed and tattooing for over 20 years before I got my face tattooed.
Yeah.
And if I didn't tattoo, I would not have any on my face or my neck or my hands.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Since I tattoo, it's
because I don't remember the facial one. And I'm like, oh man, that's a new one.
Yeah.
So, and I've seen some. You were doing some work when we were actually starting to shoot and stuff like that. You had some fresh ink, and that was back in the day.
Yeah, like I only get tattooed every once in a while now.
Yeah.
Like literally, like years will go by between tattoos.
Yeah, somebody who actually inspires you, right? So.
Yeah, like I said, it's most of my tattoos I get just from people I work with, people I like. It's
right.
That's why I said it's not about. It's about what you. It's like. For me, when I get tattooed, especially by another tattoo artist, I obviously respect that person. I like them enough to want to put something on me.
Yeah.
And that's why I let them usually have free reign, because it's about the experience too, right? Like having a good time with my friends, hey, let's do a tattoo.
Yeah.
And then I
don't ever want to forget that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very, very much for sharing that. That's pretty cool. So we've known each other for a long time now.
Yeah, since I've been in the IDPA.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, but you actually came from skateboarding, did you not?
So, before I started tattooing, I skateboarded my entire life.
So, like Jeff Frickenbosch, he skated as well, big skater. You skate with any big names?
I mean, so I was a street skater.
Yeah.
I've definitely skated spots with other pro skaters in the past, but, and like, you'd run into those guys all the time, like guys like Chet Thomas. I've skated with, you ever heard of the actor Jason Lee? He used to be a pro skater. Skated with him a few times.
The Dogtown was my era. So like Ray Bones.
Yeah, Jay Adams.
Absolutely.
I used to go to this church he used to go to. Yeah.
He went to church?
Yeah, in Costa Mesa.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know where those guys are now, but
yeah, he's dead now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but if I would have known skateboarding would have went where it went, I might still be doing that.
Really?
I still skateboard every once in a while. I'm just old, so
you shouldn't.
I can't. Obviously, I'm not going to try to. Do any handrails or anything.
Well, I remember
like
they skating like pools and stuff. They didn't have parks, right? Well, for me, it was Skatopia, right, in Buena Park.
Oh, yeah, and then there was a place called The Pipeline in Upland.
Right. Yes, yeah, that was a far drive.
Yes, for a while I lived in Chino when I was younger. So my mom and my dad, they would literally just drop me off there when it opened at 10 in the morning and then come pick me up at 9 at night when it closed.
That was me at Skatopia, yeah. Dad would just drop me off and then he'd take off and I would just sit there and he'd give me a couple bucks to eat and stuff, right? And that's all I would do, just skate pipes all day.
Yeah, I mean, skateboarding's awesome.
That's too funny.
Love it.
Too funny. So we first met at CA-IDPA. You were actually a news shooter.
Yes.
Right. So, but look how far you've come.
Yeah.
Master Carry-Optics. What the heck were you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. IDPA. I love IDPA. We got a house a couple years ago, and that's why I hadn't been around as much. But I'm definitely going to be coming back a lot more now. We've definitely, family stuff, all that life stuff. But
it always seems to get in the way.
Yeah, that was one of my goals. Though, is try to make master, by winning some sort of sanctioned match with the match bump, right? Because can't you make it with shooting a classifier?
You sure can. They call them paper masters, right?
Paper masters.
So you can shoot a classifier, which I suck at. I just, especially with PCC. And if you haven't shot the 5x5 with a PCC, the times are just, they're insanely brutal. I've never seen them. I'm like, I don't even know how they would shoot that fast, aside from like Steve Miles or something like that trying to do that. But I can't get my times down to a master on paper. but a match this is a totally different story.
Yeah, that was my goal. Like, try to make master by winning a match, right? You have to get what?
It's always
Like first
admirable.
place.
Sure.
Expert, I think, right?
Yeah, right.
That was kind of like my goal, yeah. And then I pulled that off. It was at that one match. Remember, I gave him a couple knives for the prize table or whatever.
That was the Las Vegas state.
Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for doing that. You were actually a huge hit. There were a lot of guys out there just trying to, step over each other just to try to get your knives.
Yeah.
That's how popular that was. So, did that help out your business and so forth? Or?
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while I'll get guys from the IDPA, reach out and, get knives from me.
Yeah.
But I just love the IDPA, honestly. So the IDPA actually saved my life, believe it or not.
How so?
So I'm sober, right? I've been sober for like 8 years.
Congratulations.
And so before I met you and before I got in the IDPA, I'm newly sober, and my buddy Tim was like, you know what, Jason, you need a hobby. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? First thing I want to say is, well, I tattoo. And before I could say that, he's like, and not tattooing, that doesn't count. That's your job.
Right.
And I'm like, and he's like, think about it. What do? You get sober, time goes by, you do good for yourself, then you get bored, and then you're back in some weird rehab, right? And I was like, damn, you're right. Like, maybe I do need a hobby. So I went and I bought a gun.
Yeah.
And
what was the first gun?
Glock 26.
Of course.
Glock 26. And then about a week after I got the Glock 26,
right.
I was like, I should have got a 19. But
right.
anyways. And that literally started the road to shooting in the IDPA, because then a month or two after that, I did get the Glock 19, right. And then I started watching the Robert Vogel videos and the Max Michel videos.
All right. Down that rabbit hole.
And then, and then I went and spectated at Prado, right? And then the next time I went, it was to shoot a match. And literally having that as like one of my hobbies and one of my passions, I truly think helped me stay as sober as long as I have this time.
But now you have multiple guns and all kinds of, which is not a good thing either.
It's better than the other thing, though, right?
That's true. That's true. So, what would you like about your Glocks? How long did you shoot that for?
So I shot. So I would kind of bounce around. You know how we are. Well, I was when I first started, right? Like, oh, maybe I'll do better with this one or that one. Okay. So I played around with the 34 and then would go to the 17. And then, and Jeff R. remembers when I'd be like, I'm just going to shoot my Glock 19. And every time I would do better with the Glock 19. And then so eventually through back and forth for like a year or two, I just started sticking with the Glock 19. Okay. And then that's the gun I shot up until I got my Atlas.
So when you your first purchase, why did you purchase that one? Your 26.
The 26. Honestly, I bought it from at that place called Orange County Guns. It's off of like Harbor in Costa Mesa. I just liked the way it looked, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, I thought it was cool. I had the rounded, front, and then the guy sold me on it because I was like, well, I don't know, my pinky hangs off. He's like, you can buy the little pinky extensions for your magazines.
Oh, he has an answer for everything.
Yeah, an answer for everything. And I was like, all right. But yeah, I think I bought a 19 because the law 1 a month. I think as soon as that 30 days was up, I went and bought the 19
just to get a bigger gun.
Yeah. And then
you competed seriously with a 26?
No, I had the 26 at first, and then I got the 19, and then that's when I started really watching the videos.
Did you shoot 10 rounds, or did you shoot 6? Did you shoot bug, or did you actually shoot?
I shot the first was SSP in the IDPA.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I had the 19, and then I watched all the videos, and they were saying how, the 34 is like the gun to shoot in the IDPA back when I started, right?
Right.
So and then of course the Vogel videos, and then after the 19, I got a 34, and that's when I started shooting Prado.
Yeah. So Jason and myself, we actually took classes from Vogel, right? And that was just brutal.
Yeah.
So his thing was vice grips, right? Just hold the shit out of it, right?
Yeah,
Just try to
right.
squeeze the
Crunch it.
So I was holding on to mine so hard that I was actually stopping the slide sometimes.
Oh.
Right? So it just and stop. I was
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm like, okay, maybe that's too much, right? So I've never gotten used to that because it was just too far of a forward cant, and I just I was like, I couldn't hit anything with the clock, and I did that for a whole year. And then, I coughed up the money, invested, and I got an STI, and I was one of the boys.
That's right. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember seeing your STI, and I was like, "Damn, that thing's fancy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was expensive.
I know. I remember. I remember
you
seeing
have one
it.
too.
Well, yeah, but that was years later.
Yeah.
And so when I got my Atlas, the gun I currently shoot,
Yeah.
I saved all my tips from tattooing for a year, all of them for 1 year, and I still had to, pull in an extra couple monies from the account to get it. But
Yeah.
I love it.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it.
So tell us about the gun that you're actually shooting now.
So I shoot Atlas Gunworks Nix. It's the one that's IDPA legal. So the best way to explain the Nix, if I was explaining it to someone, is it's like a Glock 19X size, right? It has the 19 size slide with a 17 size, grip.
Grip, right.
Yeah, it's a 2011. Mine has the duty trigger, which is about 3 to 3.5 pounds.
Okay.
I actually didn't get the sub 2 pound one because I just, going from a Glock to that, it scared me a little bit,
It should.
Yeah, it scared me a little bit.
2.5 is the magic number for me. I try to go 1.5 on my PCC, and
1.5.
Yeah,
That's gnarly. I'd be
Timmy,
scared.
Timmy trigger, and I would have to say that was probably the worst mistake I've ever done since I think I DQ'd 4 times for ND.
Really?
Yeah, for bumping. Right? It was just
bump fire.
Yeah, bam, and it would just. All I had to do was just push a little bit, and then it would go off again. So you go full auto on the trigger, and so at the time I said to him, maybe this is a little too light. So I had to back off a little bit. But I think that 2.5 pounds is perfect for me. So so this is actually 3. You were saying?
Yeah. So I got it when you still ordered it from Atlas.
Okay.
Like now, I think you can just go to certain places and they have them already, ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just ordered. They even let you pick like the size of trigger.
Really?
Yeah, like that's like a medium, I think. They might still do it that way. I'm not sure, but yeah. And I waited a year to get it, so I ordered it, and it took a year for them to make it.
Meanwhile, you're shooting your Glock and
Shooting the Glock,
waiting for
yes.
your whatever, and then finally it comes in, right? So,
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So you have an SRO on the
Yes.
top. You like the SRO versus?
I
the
do
other
like
option?
I do like the SRO. I actually had an RMR on it for probably 6-7 months, and then Howard told me he had an SRO for sale.
What?
And I
He
couldn't,
sold you?
Yeah, and I couldn't pass him up on it because he gave me a killer, bro price. So.
Right.
Yeah, and then I love it.
Howard's a good guy. Yeah, he makes sure everybody's taken care of. That's awesome. So SRO, it looks like you got a little dings on there.
Oh, yeah. The
Perfect.
magwell is just chewed. The magwell is just so chewed. Yeah.
Any problems with the grip? It looks pretty aggressive.
No, so they have these little side panels you can put on it, and I put the big one on the right, and then there's like a half panel on the left that sticks up only on the back for your support hand.
Just to fill in your hands.
No, so here's a fun fact. I shot north of 50,000 rounds through that gun before I even changed anything, before I changed the recoil spring.
You liked... So right out of the box,
I shot 50 over easily. That's being very, very easily. I mean, think a couple years, right?
Yep.
A couple thousand rounds a month.
Yep.
Times 24 months.
Especially if you're doing a lot of sanctioned matches, right? Yeah, that'll definitely.
Yeah, and
easy.
then I had to change the recoil spring because it was. I mean, if you pulled the slide back.
Right.
And like it wouldn't even chamber around toward it was so weak, dude.
Really?
Yeah. And so when I changed the recoil spring, I also changed like the what is it, the striker spring. What's it called in there? It's not the striker, but the firing pin spring.
Firing pin, yep.
Yeah.
So what type of recoil spring are you running? How many poundage?
That's a
10?
15.
15.
15
Really?
pound.
15?
15. Yeah.
So you won't have to change it as often?
Right. I just break them. Eventually it'll be at like 11. I swear it had a 15 in it. It was not a 15 when I changed it. It was not a 15.
It was a 9.
Yeah, it was like a 4. Not really a 4, but it was. I don't know, 10.
Right.
11.
How do you know when you need to change your recoil spring? You just sit there and you notice your slide going blue.
Really slow. And I actually did start to have a little malfunction here or there.
Okay.
Totally the recoil spring's fault though, and because once I changed the recoil spring, it was back to normal. I've also never cleaned the lower.
Never?
Nope. Since I've had it for over 3 years, I've never broken it down and cleaned the lower.
I don't know if you should, rave about that since I didn't do that as well, and I gave it to Viking to clean, and he sat there and he just chewed me a new hole, right?
Yeah. Well, you know why I haven't cleaned it? Because I was a Glock guy, right? And I was all in, the Glock trigger jobs and all that stuff.
I say if you clean it, you ruin its accuracy.
Right? I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I don't want to mess it up. It's, I paid a lot of money for it.
Oh, no. The tolerances on, especially like an Atlas or something, is so tight. You got to keep it clean. So you should probably do some things.
Yeah, I've literally never cleaned the lower.
Yeah, you should probably,
maybe you could help me with that because I don't want to mess anything up.
What?
Yeah. And I'm a tinker guy. Like I love taking stuff apart.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
I have done the CLP in there and like with an air compressor and all that.
Not the same.
Not the same.
Not the same. The parts that come out of there are just they're endless, and it's like a watch, right? And I've seen Viking and Robert take mine apart, and I just look at it, I'm like, I didn't know that stuff was in there.
Yeah. I'm just, honestly, I'm just like kind of nervous because I've never done it.
Because you're a race car driver. And
Right.
You should just drive.
Right. Yeah. Maybe I'll have one of those guys for me. Maybe they can.
I highly suggest them because I'm with you, brother. I just drive.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, maybe I'll have Viking do it for me.
There you go.
Because I definitely don't want to.
Fantastic. Any big championships or anything like that you're going to be going to?
There's that one sanctioned one in a couple months.
Bakersfield.
I'm doing that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So they're just coming back out, 5 Dogs, right? They're just coming back out. Have you shot a local match in 5 Dogs in Bakersfield?
I don't think I have, actually. I don't think I have.
They used to, back in the day when we first started, they actually had like sanction matches, tier 3s, tier 4s, right? Uh-huh. And then all of a sudden the match director just fell off the face of the earth, and they backed out. So no longer Bakersfield was in the rotation, because I used to do Bakersfield, Sacramento, and then we used to have one actually we were in February for CA-IDPA.
The Valentine's Day
the Valentine's one, right?
Yeah.
So there's 3 of us, and then all of a sudden, we just, I don't know, whatever happened. Then Pyru was throwing their hat in the ring too. So now we had 4, which was awesome, right? So now we had every place to shoot, and now it's just kind of dwindled down to Sacramento, and so they're coming back. So 5 Dogs is coming up. I'll have to post the dates right here. So, but that's going to be coming up pretty soon. Okay, so I get to see you there in Bakersfield.
Yeah, I'm actually going to maybe do some dry fire before then.
We should all probably do dry fire.
You know what's crazy is Jeff R. Every time I see him, I'll be like, "So you still dry firing every day?" And he's like, "Yeah." He actually dry fires every day.
He does that like.
It's like waking up and having a cup of coffee.
Yes, for him.
Yeah.
It is a fact of life for him, right? So I should do that as well. Yeah, but then again, you can see his fundamentals are just rock solid. So and mine are all over the damn place, right? So that's probably why. So I know you're a craftsman as well, right? So you like blades.
I do like knives, yes.
So Brass Brigade.
Brass
right?
Brigade, yes.
So what exactly is Brass Brigade?
Okay, so Bones Brigade, right?
Okay.
Remember Bones Brigade?
Yep.
Right?
Ray Bones.
Bones Brigade was, Stacy Peralta's little skateboard thing. So I tattoo, I was getting into the shooting, and I told my wife, like, God, I really like to post some pictures of my guns. She's like, you can't post that on your tattoo page. There's a lot of people that don't like guns. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. So I'm like, what? I wanted to start an Instagram for shooting, right? For IDPA stuff.
Right.
So I was like, and it just hit me one day. I'm like, thinking of names, and I'm like, Brigade, Brass Brigade. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. It's kind of like the skateboard thing. And
Right.
And so yeah, I just called it Brass Brigade, and it started as my little page for my IDPA stuff and to post pictures of my guns, and and then it slowly evolved into me making a production knife, which I just designed and then had made, and then with the profits from that production knife, I would later buy knife making stuff, and then I taught myself how to make knives. So
Right.
now I will post shooting stuff on there sometimes and gun stuff, but I also sell knives now and make knives. I taught myself how to make them a few years ago.
Yeah.
After I released something called the Grant Gripper.
So we have knives here.
Yeah.
I believe this is the Grant grip.
No,
gripper?
this is the Tripper. So this is a 3-inch model with a Tonto blade. The Gripper was a 3.5-inch knife. It's all over my Instagram, where
Right.
you can see tons of videos on YouTube about the Gripper. This is my second production knife. This one I still have actually available. But yeah, it started as the Gripper, which I actually drew for myself. I was going to draw a knife, right?
Yeah.
I was on vacation in Hawaii with my wife.
Right.
We didn't have cell service, and she's getting ready. So I drew this knife design on a napkin, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool if someone could make it for me. Posted a picture on my Brass Brigade, and literally like 5 or 6 people DM me. They're like, dude, you should get that knife made. I'll buy one.
Yeah.
And from there, it snowballed. I had a custom knife maker
Right.
make
No,
some
I believe I was one of them.
You probably were one of them, yeah. So yeah, it sort of started accidentally.
Yeah.
And then from the production Gripper, I taught myself how to make knives. And
So I didn't know where are you getting the components from? Are they so you design them
I design them,
and then you give your design to somebody and they build it for you, or how's that go?
yes. So I like my production pocket knives. So
Yeah.
I designed the Gripper, and then this is the Tripper, and then a company called BezTech are the OEM, or they're the people that made it.
Okay.
My fixed blades, everything. Okay, so the difference is this is a production knife made by BezTech in China.
Okay.
Very upfront about that.
Right.
My fixed blades are 100% handmade by me, and 100% of every part of this knife is
Right.
made in America, down to the machines I make them on. Like even my heat treat oven is made in America. So, because I know a lot of people are, like that.
So the company that you use, BizTech?
BezTech.
BezTech. So you're comfortable with these guys, or?
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, like, I would like to get one produced by a company that's in the U.S.
Right.
Just because, I mean, I can go and talk to the people, and so there was definitely a language barrier. Definitely had to use Google Translate a lot.
Right.
And it took freaking 9 months to do.
Yeah.
And it was very expensive.
Okay.
So ultimately, the goal is to do another production knife, maybe by a company that's here in the U.S.
Right.
That's the goal.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And but like I said, all my fixed blades are 100%.
I love your fixed blades. The fixed blades are just one of my favorites.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I have fun making them.
Like somebody who's new to knife, what do they should they be looking for in purchasing a knife when they look at a knife?
If it's something to carry, I always just say just get something that's comfortable. Something you don't want to get anything too big if it's to carry.
Right.
Most of my knives are smaller knives like this that you can literally put in your front pocket. They all come with like Kydex with a little clip. I mean, I do big. I just did one that was 21 inches long. I'll do big ones, but like this size,
Right.
stuff that you can carry.
Yeah.
Stuff that's not. Oops.
So you actually had a holster that you put in your pocket that you showed me.
Oh
earlier?
yeah. I think it's over there somewhere. But all that is here. I'll show you. All that is like Kydex, like this, and then I just drill it for a pocket clip, and it
Okay.
just goes in your front pocket, just like a pocket knife.
Okay.
Which is
So instead of them putting a knife or
Like
blade in their pocket, it stays in one position,
Yeah.
right? And it's accessible. And top of that, it doesn't ruin your pocket.
Right. And I can make them. I can do scout carry. That's where they have like the straps on it, where you can do it horizontal.
Yeah.
I can do anything you want. You just got to tell me,
Let's talk about materials. Do you recommend a certain material over another?
So for my fixed blades, I use a lot of something called 20 CV. Sometimes I use Magna Cut. These are all stainless steels. And then sometimes I use a carbon steel that's called 80 CRV2.
Okay.
Just a really good carbon steel. But most people that want EDC knives want stainless because they don't rust.
Right.
But I think everyone should have at least one carbon steel knife. It's just cool. You got to take care of it, put
Right.
oil on it.
You get that patina on it.
And they do look cool. The carbon steel does look cool over time once it gets that patina.
When it turns that blue and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love, so I have sushi knives and so forth, right?
Oh, cool.
So a Deba, I have a Deba that actually changes colors and so forth. So the only part that's remains polished is the edge,
The
right?
edge.
So I just keep that sharpened all the time. But I just love your fixed blades.
Yeah, thanks.
cool.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, most of my fixed blades are EDC knives. I do some like self-defense ones, They call them Slurpee savers. So if anyone wants to try to steal your Slurpee, you got the little Slurpee saver knife.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun.
In California, stuff like this is legal, or
So
yeah,
yeah,
What's the laws
I'll
on
say
something
this:
like this?
90% of the knives I make are totally California
Okay.
legal. 90%.
So what makes a legal knife?
So California, actually, the laws aren't as crazy as you think they would be. I think for pocket knives, I don't really think there's a limit. But I think for fixed blades, if it's over a certain length, it has to be like on a belt or something.
Like a sheath.
Right.
Okay.
But honestly, the knives I make are usually, like I said, everyday carry knives.
Right.
So you're going to be fine. Like this one's for sure 50 state legal. Because it's under 3 inches.
3 inches, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you, Brass Brigade is an online store? Or?
So right now I have a website. I was redoing it. Usually just people message me or call me.
Okay.
I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. If you message me or DM me on either YouTube or Instagram, I check my messages every day.
Okay.
Every day.
So what is your Instagram page?
Brass Brigade.
Brass Brigade. There you go. If
Brass
you need a knife, there you go. So you can just IM you, and you'll be more than happy to take
Just
care of them.
message
from
me.
there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm easy to get a hold of. Yeah.
In your opinion, what makes a great knife?
Something that's comfortable, obviously sharp, and looks cool. I mean, honestly, I carry knives. I like the way they look, right? Like if I didn't like the way it looked, I probably wouldn't have looked at it long enough to want to buy it in the first place.
Yeah.
So yeah, quality. I mean, obviously it needs to cut. Yeah, cutting needs to be comfortable, needs to be cool.
Right. How would you use this in a self-defense?
This one I probably wouldn't use in a self-defense. This is just a little,
Just back up a little bit and we'll be fine type of show.
Right.
Yeah.
These are more, self-defense knives are more like wicked looking. They're going to be more stabby.
Yeah, that would be.
Right. Like this has like index points on the back. So you know exactly where
it will come out of your hands and stuff like that.
But I'm not a big self-defense guy, right? Like,
No.
With knives, anyways.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely a personal thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually like knives. I carry knives because I open packages a lot, like Amazon packages.
That's exactly what I would use mine for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, these would be great to open up packages.
Yeah.
Well, that's both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Slurpee saver.
The Slurpee sleeper. Very cool. Well, let's wrap this up. So this is the amazing thing. So now I know your views on self-defense. I would definitely would have to say that somebody would probably want to take a class on self-defense with knives.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would. If you're gonna use a knife for self-defense, definitely get some training.
Well, that's just fascinating. Wow. Well, thank you very much for joining me. This is eye-opening, I would have to say, at the very least. I think this is amazing. So, a very special shout out to our channel membership. This is your support. Busy at work. Please consider being a part of our shooting community, building relationships around safe gun practice and IDPA competition. My name is Paul G, and this is
Jason Grant.
Please be safe, and we shall see you on the range.
Like, share, subscribe.
These are insane, man. These are insane.
That's yeah,
I like that.